Welcome to EchoPark Speedway, formerly known as Atlanta Motor Speedway. Today we have Season 13, race number 7 of the Bonfire Racing League. Tonight we're here at Atlanta for race number 7 for today's Help for Heroes 215. As currently qualifying, just getting underway. As right now we have Ricky Mandela out on the racetrack. Currently showing him right now. Qualifying getting underway. No lap times have been set. Lap times is just starting to flood in now. As there are first two drivers have set their lap time, so we'll bring the timing tower up. Currently on the board is Christopher Smorl. At the 30. Oh, now it's Jake Atchie actually. With a 31.859. So all these times just gonna start to flood in here as everyone getting their first lap in, sitting up for their lap number 2. As you'll see those times, just everyone's names start to pop up on our tower. Mickey Mandela goes P3 for his first lap. Nick Mills will go up to the top of the board. Nick Mills already completing both of his runs. These drivers have 2 laps for 10 minutes to set 2 laps. So plenty of time for all 30 drivers to set their lap time here today. As Mickey Mandela will complete his lap, and he will go he'll go 31 to 6:05. He'll go P3 on the board currently. So see that fastest lap there, Paul Ferdiani, 31.568. All his laps so far. A driver on their second lap. Zach Clausen just completed his lap. Just completed the first lap down the back straightaway. Here comes Zach Clausen. Clausen coming off of turn 4, coming to the line. He'll run a 31.646. That'll put him P12 as David Owens goes to the top of the board. 31.553. The other driver out on the racetrack, Jack Suval, on his first lap. Actually, no, now on the second lap. 34.569 was his first lap. We'll see what he can pick up here on lap number 2. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Duvall perfectly right at that line there. A little bit off, kind of between that first dotted line and the red line there on the bottom. And coming across the line, Jack Duvall with 31.596. That will go P6 on the board. Just a Malarkey on pit road right now, ready to go. Jared Kelly. Also David Medina Sr. So these 3 drivers, the only 3 drivers currently on the track. They get to set their lap, so Jared Kelly is going to start his first lap this time by getting the run, setting up, trying to build as much speed as possible for these 2 laps here. Still 5 minutes left of the qualifying, still plenty of time for everyone else to set their lap. For Jared Kelly down into turn number 1 and 2, gonna get right on that red line on the bottom. Come up a lot off of turn number 2. We're trying to get the arc down into turn number 3. Put it right on the apron. It's going to be enough for Jared Kelly to take pole. We'll find out this time by coming to the line. Kelly will run a 31.674. I'll put a P17. Yeah, slot number 2 will be a little bit more up to speed. Or a little bit higher. Could be a little bit slower. Tires could be a little bit hotter here, so we'll see how that works out. But Jerry Kelly coming off turn 4 and improve on lap number 2. Jared Kelly across the line. It will be a 31.605. A good improvement there. I put a P11 now. David Medina just completes his second lap. Will be a 31.594. A great lap there. That'll go P number 6. Christopher Larson off turn number 2. Already completed both his laps with a 31.607. We'll go P13. Jason Landry completing lap number 1, 32.063 there. Gonna set up for lap number 2 here. Down in the turn number 1 and 2. Gonna get right on that red right line. Try to wrap it as best you can. We'll see how much he comes off the turn 2. So you don't want to come up too much. You don't want to give up too much time on the entry. Stays perfectly kind of where you want to be going out into turn 3. Landry gonna get a good arc into 3 and 4. Gonna put it right on that red right line. Just try to hold it as steady as possible. Coming off turn 4. Landry will go coming to the line. Landry will run a 31.574. It will go P4 on the board for that 56 machine. Now Kevin Kyle setting up for lap at number 2 here. Please lap number 1, 32.525 for as the warm-up lap. See what he does down here on lap number 2, a little bit higher up on the racetrack. Kind of putting the right sides on that dotted white line. It was pretty high on the racetrack. Kind of straddles that white dotted white line down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Now through 3 and 4, will it be enough to put it on the top of the board? Or somewhere up front, it will be a 31.570. That will go P4 and replace Jason Landry in P4. Kyle Lynott coming through 1 and 2 now. 3 more drivers yet to set their lap times. Stephen Neal, Thomas Fox, and Matt Schofield. We have Kyle Lynott here on his lap now. So lap number 1, running the bottom, so it looks like not setting up for a second lap. We'll see if he can pick some speed on lap number 2. A 31.837 for lap number 1 for that 988 machine. They'll go P26 currently on the board. We'll see if he can pick up a lap number 2 here. Pretty low down the back straightaway. Just kind of wrapping that line. And off of turn number 4, gonna cut to the apron. Kyle Lynott 31.546. Good lap there. That'll go P3 on the board. A really good lap there for Kyle Lynott. But no other driver out on the racetrack in less than the 30 seconds to go. No one else going to be able to get a time on the board. So that means David Owens with a 31.553 will be your pole sitter tonight. Well, today. Used to broadcasting these things at night. Happy for y'all to join us here this early this morning here for the Bonfire Racing League. The qualifying just wrapping up now. We're going to get ready to go on to the grid for today's Help for Heroes 215. So David Owens will be on the pole for today's 140 lap race, 215 mile. So we'll see at about 30% fuel. So fuel is probably going to be around 45 to 70-ish, 45 to 50-ish laps. So we'll see probably a 2-stop race. We can save just that little bit of fuel, be a little bit close, depending on how much you're pushing, how much you're saving in the pack. You can easily save a lot of fuel here, as also just lifting in the pack and just saving, checking up through the corner. But we'll see how who will be able to master that strategy tonight. But while these drivers are all on the grid, let's take a quick look at the grid for today's Help for Heroes 215 here from Atlanta. These all just wrapped up in qualifying. David Owens at a 31.553 will put it on the pole in that 8 machine. And Jose Medina will start in second, only 4 thousandths off there. P3 will be the 988 of Kyle Lina. Paul Ferniani will start fourth in that 33 machine. Starting fifth tonight will be the 31 of Kevin Kyle. And 56 of Jason Linger will start sixth. Starting seventh will be 37th will be the 20 of Nick Mills. Jake Ashley will start 8th in that 77 machine. Starting 9th will be David Medina in the 9 car, David Medina Sr. in the 9 car, and Jax Duval will start 10th. Starting 11th will be David Brenner, and Brandon Shelton will start 12th. Starting 13th tonight will be Zach Engel, and Ricky Mandela will start 14th. Starting 15th will be Jared Kelly. Justin Malarkey will start 16th. Christopher Suarez will start 17th, and Michael Serra will start 18th in that 27 machine. Starting 19th will be David Buell in the 52 machine, and Jaron Valley will start 20th. 21st will be Brandon Finley. Zach Clausen will start 22nd in that 43 machine. Michael Benson will start 23rd, and Todd Dunn will start 24th. Starting 25th will be Timothy Darby, and Jake Johnson will start 26th. 27th will be Gerald Rose. Matt Schofield, first driver to not set a time tonight, will start 28th in a 61 car. Sam Milliken will start 29th, and Thomas Fox will round out our 30 car field here tonight. Now the drivers start to roll off here, and we're going to get ready to go racing one pace lap. Pace lap here at EchoPark Speedway, or Atlanta. Just a brand new rename, just happened a few weeks ago. This race number 7 of the season for these drivers, is first 6 being broadcast on the in-house Bonfire YouTube channel. Happy for you all to join us here on Legends Racing Network for the rest of this season. But David Owens will lead them to green here for EchoPark Speedway, or Atlanta. The pace car going to take that hard left turn onto pit road, back into the EchoPark Research Zone. Green flags in the air. We're underway here from Atlanta. Complete lap number 1. David Owens will lead that lap. Kyle Lynott sitting there in second. Kevin Kyle sliding into third. So top 5 or so single file right now is the outside, trying to get some momentum. Currently on the outside lane. So it's been this week really here at Atlanta. It's also the officials, the iRacing officials has also been here as well. So these drivers have that opportunity, just racing officials this week, and be able to practice, and to learn this how this car handles here at the racetrack, and how the car will drive, how it will race. But so far this week, it's kind of been really hard to get that outside lane moving. So far single file for now, but now up front we got a few moves. Kyle Lynott trying to go to the outside lane, trying to go for racing distance out in front, but no help for now. That 20 machine there of Nick Mills trying to duck out of line from the bottom and try to push him, but Kyle Lynott trying to aggressively side draft that inside lane, trying to stay alive on that outside. Trying to find a hole down on the bottom. You got a few drivers trying to work up to the outside lane for now. Kyle Lynott lost all his help. He's got one driver coming up there, the 55 machine of Jared Kelly now coming up to help Kyle Lynott. Outside lane starting to build just a tiny bit of momentum. Lynott has almost had a gap there, didn't take it. And the 22 machine of David Brenner to his inside there. Kyle on the first driver side by side as he's lost his help now at Jared Kelly. Jared Kelly slots back into the inside lane there. Just try to save his tires, save a little bit of fuel. Early on in this one, we're just going to try and get settled in here. First driver back on the outside. Giving service back to Parfrediani. The 33 machine. You know, about 5 cars on the outside. A little bit of a gap between Ferdiani and Kyle Lana, the first two drivers on the outside lane. It's like holding pretty well on the outside for now. They just check in a little bit on the bottom. They're all lifting, trying to save their tires. Nothing against the tires definitely wear here. You definitely get a little bit free from the rear end and really easily loop around on you through the corner. So these drivers want to save their rear tires, don't want to overheat those tires as the lineup will slot back in lane. So that'll leave 3 cars on the outside lane trying to work their way up for now. So I got to move for the lead as Kevin Kyle goes to the lead, blocks Nick Mills to the outside lane as David Owens will fall back. So we got an outside lane forming here for the outside for the race lead. Kevin Kyle clear for the lead. Nick Mills slots into second. Nick Mills dives low, tries to get to the inside. Kevin Kyle gonna get into the back bumper. Kevin Kyle gonna go sideways. He's gonna save it. Maybe Zach Mills gonna save it as well. As they all save it there. What a save for all those drivers. They stay green, but that's gonna split out the pack, no doubt. As what a save for Nick Mills. As he's gonna be able to keep going. Oh, almost lose on the apron again. Back on the transition to get back on the apron. Just gonna keep it back going. What a save for those drivers. Let's take a quick look at that one while we have the moment. Down to turn number 3 here. Tried to dive into the bottom of Kevin Kyle. Was able to do it. Got a little bit of contact. Kyle on the transition to the apron kept losing it. Nick Mills kind of in that as well, just getting spun by Kevin Kyle and David Owens, just innocent bystander there, nowhere he can go, just sitting right behind it. And unfortunately, he just lost a lot of time from that as well. So that separates the pack big time. But we're currently back up to the battle of the race lead as only 3 drivers, now 4 drivers out in the front pack. As Ian Medina Sr. has taken the race lead, Jared Kelly, Paul Ferdiani, and David Boyle in the top 4. As that pack separated completely, as now only 4 drivers for the race in the lead pack right now, and then we have the smaller pack led by Kyle Lynott right now, and Jake Johnson rounding out that back half of the field, back half of this pack. So we have currently 4 packs on the racetrack. After that almost incident there, great saves from all those drivers once again. But now we have much smaller packs now, so that's going to change a lot of strategies here. Still, top 4 in their own pack, just hoping he kind of stays green now. They can kind of have this race to themselves. See how this works out. Those gaps here. So this is kind of the gap between. This is the gap between those first 2 packs, about 2.5 seconds. Kyle on that second pack was a 10th slower last time by, but the lap before they were about a 10.5 faster. So just trying to monitor that time there. As we'll see with this time by Kyle Lynott in his pack will be but just under a 10th slower. So this first top 4 pack able to pull away a little bit. It's about 2.2 seconds ahead, trying to stay out of that draft range from the pack behind. Trying to keep those drivers running. This back here with Zach Engel at the back end of this pack. As you'll see the lap times between the second pack and the third pack there, about 2.5 seconds. Kind of even split between first, second, and third packs. The second pack starting to gain a little bit now. They've got a little bit organized. They just got it under 2 seconds, but this is the gap between the second pack and the third pack, about 2.5 seconds. as the second pack was a tenth faster last time by here with Zach Engel. See how that slows him up a little bit, as got a little bit of side draft there as Jake Johnson fell to the back of this pack. The top four is still holding strong for now. They put a little bit more gap now, about 2.2 seconds between David Well and Kyle Lynott. So we're trying to fiercely chase these main packs down. Big wiggle there from Jake Atchie there, as he's actually going to get swarmed now from the outside lane, as he had a really big moment off of turn 4. That rear tire starting to fade away now, and the rear handling really starting to go away. Expect to get that to get better throughout the night. Well, here in Sim, but throughout the day, as it will get colder as we're going through the night in the Sim. 2 times speed though, so it's good to go a little bit quicker. Let's take a look at our weather for tonight's for the race. 2:29 in the Sim, as we are 2 times speed on the Sim. So currently 8:39 p.m. in the Sim. 8-degree ambient temperature, 87-degree track temp. So pretty cold track temp, clear skies, and 4-mile-per-hour winds, but pretty 60% humidity. So drivers will be we're battling a little bit with rear handling for now. It should get a little bit better as the track gets a little bit colder throughout the night. Apparently all the packs just single file trying to chase each other down. As now the top 4 now become 1 extra driver there as well. It'll be the Jax Duval at the top of that, at the bottom back of that pack, just got put a lap down. So Jax Duval now tags along to this main pack and giving it a little bit extra horsepower, a little bit extra speed. But then they help this lead pack out big time to stay away from the rest of this pack. Currently about 2.6 seconds ahead of pack number 2. Back for the second pack, Kyle Lynott still leads with Kevin Kyle right behind. Jason Landry in 3rd in this second pack here. They're a little bit side by side through the back of this pack. Just trying to swapping positions towards the back of this pack. But the third pack back here, another 5-car pack. Brandon Shelton, Michael Sarah, Justin Larkey, and Christopher Small, Brandon Finley. This third pack here, they're trying to chase down this the second pack. Which is the biggest pack on the racetrack, from 6th on back to 15 is that second pack currently on the racetrack. That's the gap between those 2 packs is about 2.7 seconds, so about the same as pretty much the same as the first pack to the second pack. So just kind of super speedway racing, just making some minor incident there, shook up the pack, split the field all together. Now everyone's trying to chase each other down, single file. I like to put a kind of like a cycling reference, kind of a split between the breakaway and the peloton. The second pack kind of being the peloton, and the lead pack currently kind of being the breakaway. And these drivers trying to chase them down, trying to bridge that gap. But off of turn number 4, leading here with the second pack, Kyle Lynott. He was one of those first drivers trying to work that outside lane early on in the race. Didn't work out for him. Oh, but Kyle Lynott going to get it off the back bumper of Kevin Kyle. He's going to be able to save it, as again, maybe keeps it on the apron. He's going to spin back up the racetrack. Kyle Lynott spins back up the racetrack, lock it down through the center. Everyone else avoids it barely, but that will bring out our first caution of the night. And that's going to be a big relief for the rest of the field that was not in the lead pack there. Kyle Lynott going around off of turn number 2. Let's take a look at what happened there. So Kevin Kyle right on the back bumper of Kyle Lynott here going into turn 1. Just the rear grip going away. Just kind of swiped the bumper there. Just lost it for Kyle Lynott, and then on the transition, the apron lost it off the lost it off the banking transition, spun it back up the racetrack, up between the field as all these drivers try to avoid it, barely missing it there. One of those drivers there just barely missing. I believe that may have been Christopher Small. We'll try to find out who that was that just barely missed it. It was Brandon Finley. Brandon Finley just missing that incident there. They will come down pit road. David Medina will stay out on the racetrack. So the lead pack stays out on the racetrack. Everyone else will come down pit road for fresh tires and top it off on fuel. As Kevin Kyle will lead him off pit road there. The top four stay on the racetrack. Don't know if they got the chance to pit road. Sequence is a little interesting here. Sometimes the pace car comes out way too late. It tells you to go pass it, catch the pace car, and then it tells you to let it by, and you don't really have enough time to get onto pit road. As you have to enter pit road here on the apron there, before you see the white line and the sector times, kind of where the sections would be in the real life. See where those different sectors, segments of pit road to determine speed. But you have to enter down there on the apron during green and yellow flags. So you have to. But unlike in real life, in iRacing, they don't have to hold pit speed on that apron. But you have to stay below that white line there on the apron at all times to make a safe pit entry. If not, you have to make a stop and go penalty. So, getting on and off pit road will be a big challenge if we get to green flag pit stops. But after our first caution there with Kyle Lymott going around and off the back of Kevin Kyle. As Lymott will line back up in 6th. But David Medina, Jared Kelly, Paul Ferdiani, and Jake Atchie all staying out on the racetrack. So work our way here to complete lap number 26 of this race. We'll have about 114 laps to go. So now it's going to be easily a 2-stop race. So these drivers up front did not have to pit there. They save a little bit of fuel, so they could have stayed out. Don't know if they could have pitted. Maybe the pace car got off a little bit too late. But they can get away with staying out here. They can save a little bit more fuel, make it a little 2-stop. But the little tire advantage, we'll see how that works out for them. The pace car is off. It's back into the EchoPark restart zone. Green flag back in the air. David Medina on the loud pedal. But he easily clear Jared Kelly before we even get into turn. Even get to the start-finish line. A great restart for David Medina as he's now about two car lengths ahead. It's a little separation out in front of the pack right now. It's down the outside. Going to try desperately build back up here. Trying to get built back up here off that restart. Strung out the field a little bit on that restart. It's a really good restart for that 9 machine. So Kevin Kyle trying to work with that outside lane there. Turn Valley right behind him. Trying to push Kevin Kyle down into turn number 3. We'll see how well these top 4 hold on. As you don't really have tire wear. It might be more about tire heat, but we'll have to see. A little bit colder track temp. We'll see how well those top 4 can hold on the older tires compared to everyone else on the new tires here. Actually, the top 5, Kyle Lymott did not pit, so he actually stayed out as well. After spinning there. On the outside lane, start to work a little bit. Jason Landry going to pull alongside Kyle Linon. Only got about 7 lined up perfectly on the bottom there. You got a little bit of a gap, a little bit of split on the inside lane. That's allowed the outside lane a little bit. Kevin got way up the racetrack. That should allow Jared Valley to go to the bottom. So Jared Valley going to slot back into the bottom. I'm not thinking about pulling out there, trying to get in front of Landry, get over the draft down the back straightaway. The outside lane just struggling to get moving. Jason Landry on the outside, alongside now with Jared Valley. Trying to get to the outside of Zach Engel. The outside lane trying to work their way up. It's really hard to get this outside lane working. You gotta be pretty much perfect on the push and hope the inside lane still makes a little bit of mistakes. You gotta have to side draft very hard on the inside lane. It's very hard to get moving up. If you're not really doing all that, you're not really moving up on the outside lane. This package not forgiving for the outside lane. A few drivers try to hop up there up front. Jake Ashley being one of those. He actually does hop up. It's going to give that outside lane a big draft. That's going to allow him to get a big run, but now they have to check up. Did not get that shove. So Ashley. So Jake Ashley at the 77 now leads. So now Jason Landry going to split her to the middle. 3 wide. Ashley will slot back behind Landry. But still goes up the racetrack, and that's going to force Kevin Kyle to the inside. But Kevin Kyle will now slot back into the bottom. He'll hop back, right back up, kind of leapfrog that 77 machine there. Good move for Kevin Kyle. Back up front, it is David Medina Sr. still up front. Jared Kelly right behind him. We're going to put Jax Duvall another lap down. Goes around once again into turn number 1. Incident goes around there. That's what happened. Big crash into 1. Multiple drivers involved. Always gonna get hit by Jake Atchie after the wreck as well. Have at least about 6 cars involved there. Let's take a look at what happened. So it all starts in turn number 1 with Kyle Lynott. Or this may be a bad push, kind of like how it was last time. Oh, it just comes up the racetrack a little bit for that 54 machine. And Kyle Lynott spins back up the track. Many drivers involved. At least 8 or 9 drivers involved. 48 being one of those there. 48 Brandon Finley being one of those drivers. Kevin Kyle getting involved, the 73 there. Justin Malarkey getting involved as well. And Brennan Shelton may have got a piece of it. I think he got through. Timothy Darby, but a lot of these drivers, it's going to be easier to say who didn't get in the incident there. And now a lot of damage to everyone's race car. There's no fast repair. So these drivers are all going to have to take and fix their damage. We'll see if that takes anyone out of the race. But Christopher Royale will go to the race lead as he stays out on the racetrack. As David Medina led them down pit road, he'll not lead them off. He got 1 driver out in front of him. I believe that was may have been David Owens, I believe. It was not David Owens who got off pit road in front of him. Jason Landry that came out on pit road in front of him. So Jason Landry comes out pit road there, I believe just taking fuel only there. He had two tires, so it's a 7.9 second stop, so I believe it was just fuel only. No tires for Jason Landry. That was a big incident to bring out our second caution of the night. Christopher Small, Jose Medina, Zach Engel, David Owens all stay out, Ricky Mandela as well. The top seven stay out on the racetrack. As a last caution. So Smoral, our race leader for now, but also time to mention our difference between our pro and AM drivers. You see on the names for all David Owens having pro next to their name. So two separate point standings. You have a pro and AM point standings. So at the end of the night, we'll interview our top two pro drivers and our winning AM driver as well tonight. But currently, after 6 races of the season, Jason Landry leads the Pro Series standings. It's the old Winston Cup points format as well. He has a 10-point gap over David Medina Sr. in the Pro standings, and currently leading our AM Series standings, Michael Sarah, currently 18 off of the points lead. 18 in the lead of Stephen Neal. The race car's off once again, and back to the EchoPark restart. A green flag back in the air, swirl on the loud pedal. A great jump. Jose Medina right behind him. Right behind him. Did not get slotted in as Zach Engel gonna try to take that spot away. Jose Medina trying to slot in line in front of David Owens. Not gonna be able to do it. Off of turn number 2 now, down the back straightaway. Have to try to force that outside lane and back going. David Owens back to the outside. Now the outside lane has the best momentum they have all night long. It's the outside lane. Good pushing from Jose Medina to David Owens. Simply gets the outside side by side with Christopher Smoral. This time by will be 40 laps, so maybe it will leave us 100 laps to go. So you might be able to make it on a one stop if you hit now. But I know we have another caution out of the racetrack. Ferdiani going around on the French straightaway. See if we can keep it going, locks it down. When we get it back going, we'll take a look at what happened here. Off of turn number 4. I think Ferdiani here, let's take a look. Oh, gonna car the outside. Oh, it's gonna get tagged there. Huge wreck for Ferdiani. So yeah, got tagged from the outside there. We're trying to get a look at who that is. Oh, it's Bruel, David Bruel. Getting loose off of turn 4 here and just tagging the 33 of Paul Ferdiani. Got really loose, lost the rear end. Just a huge hit for Ferdiani. That's no doubt be his night over, his race over. Got another car down to the apron there. I believe that was Brandon Shelton. Yeah, Brandon Shelton spun into pit road as well there. Unfortunate for Brandon Shelton just getting attacked. A piece of that as well. But Ferdiani, unfortunate, going to be done for the night after that hit. No doubt that car is completely destroyed after that hard hit. So hard into the outside wall. Got put up into the put it in the air there for a few seconds. But now that caution will take us under 100 to go. Now, if you do pit now, you might be able to make it on a one stop. The top 13 stay on the racetrack. Nick Mills being the first driver down the pit road. But now, while we have this moment, we're going to take a quick break for more from our sponsors.
Season 13 of Bonfire Premier Cup Racing is proudly brought to you by Animal House Customs. Also a sponsor for Season 13, KK Woodscapes, bringing your virtual victories into reality. And finally, but not least, the Swanley Golf Association. This sponsorship is brought to you by Matt Schofield and the number 61.
Welcome back here to EchoPark Speedway here for race number 7 of the Bonfire Racing Premier Cup Series. Bonfire Racing League Premier Cup Series for season number 13 for tonight's help for here is June 15. So just wrapping up our fourth caution of the night as 33 Paul Ferdiani getting tagged and going up in the air a little bit there. I believe he will probably be done for the night, but we'll restart here with just under 100 laps to go. As drivers who just topped it off probably be able to make it on a one stop from here, but we'll see how that plays out if you can make it to the end. But the pace car pulls off to pit road, and Christopher Small leads them back to green flag back in the air. David Owens quickly slots back into second. Zach Engel sitting there in third, but now back up the racetrack goes David Owens, side by side now with Christopher Small trying to leapfrog the bottom. He's not going to be able to do it. That's going to be a big problem if he can't get back in line. It's now the outside lane. He's going to have to fall all the way back to the outside, and that will be Jose Medina leading that outside lane behind him, so he's going to have to fall all the way back there. That's to lose him a lot of track position. The outside lane really hard to get going here. Zach Engel hops up a little bit, thinks about moving up to the outside, stops back in line. Mickey Mandela trying to move up to the outside lane as well. The six to the bottom, and we'll see if David Owens in the outside lane can get something moving. And here they come back to the outside. They get side by side with Mandela down into turn number, well, at the front straightaway into turn number 1. That's currently off of turn number 2. Mandela holds the inside, sitting there third lane on the inside, but now here comes David Owens to the outside lane. Side by side off turn number 4. Owens with a good run now from a big push from Medina. Might be able to get up side by side here with Christopher Small. That's going to be a big help. They get side by side with the race leader. Not going to be able to do it. They're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive on the side draft. They're going to try to pull him back. They lose a little bit of time on the exit, but they're going to pull back that inside lane as Zach Engel gets pulled back by David Owens there in the turn number 3. So this is the hardest part, trying to get side by side with the leader. Sproul still holds the lead, but Owens and Medina pushing hard on the outside lane, trying to get side by side with Sproul. They still hold the outside, but Owens maybe right on the quarter panel down to the 1, but trying to push, goes way off the racetrack as he drifts off the racetrack. Get a lot of speed into the corner. down the back straightaway, trying to push on the outside lane. They lose a little bit of help. They're only down to 4 cars on the outside. They're working so far so good. Able to stay alongside Zach Engel. Oh, but a big wiggle there. That's going to push Medina out. Oh, but Zach Mills goes to the middle, 3 wide. They keep door making down to the turn number 1. That's like Nick Mills, sorry. But he bullies his way a little back to the bottom as they had contact there with Zach Clausen. And that's going to nuke the outside's momentum. And that falls they're going to fall all the way to the back now. They're able to get something going. Medina and Owens, though, but working well together. That's going to kill the momentum, though. That big 3-wide move there. That's going to really hurt the outside lane's momentum. They're going to try and get back going. David Owens almost has the gap to the bottom there. See if he takes it. The hole closes up there on the bottom. Not able to get there. Outside lane now starting to fall back once again. Christopher Sproul, our race leader. Here with David Owens, you see he's trying to side drive that inside lane as much as he can. But Sproul coming for the high lane there. Interesting move there for Sproul. Maybe he got shuffled out a little bit. Where Sproul moves up to the outside lane, and that's going to put Zach Engel to the race lead. But Sproul going to get a bumper from David Owens. Big save, but they wreck in front of them. Zach Engel, I believe, goes around. Zach Engel goes around down the front straightaway. As now bring out the caution. As multiple drivers are wrecking onto the apron there. As Sproul got a little bit of contact, but then Ricky Mandela got into Zach Engel. That spun him around. Luckily, no one else really involved there. Just a spin. A few other drivers had to check up. A little bit of damage. But it kind of all started. Sproul got a big wiggle, but Engel went up the racetrack. Jason Landry getting in it, and Ricky Mandela getting a piece of that. But Zach Engel, Ricky Mandela, and Jason Landry really the only 3 involved in that one. But a great save from Sproul for almost going around from up there from the outside lane. But Ricky Mandela will be our race leader. He'll stay out on the pit road, not open. Expect to see some of these drivers pit this time by. Oh, pit road might be open now. Sproul and Landry will come down pit road, but Manila, I don't think got a chance to pit there. Jason Landry is the first driver in at pit road. There's David Owens strolling by there. Well, these drivers are going to take 4 tires in fuel. There's Christopher Sproul. Sproul will be the first driver out of pit road. He'll line back up in third as Jared Kelly and Ricky Mandela both stay out on the racetrack. But now Mandela will come down pit road as Jared Kelly still stay out on the racetrack. So Jared Kelly will be our race leader, and so we'll almost cycle back to second. So it's a 1 to go signal this time by. So we start with just under 80, just over 80 laps to go. It'll be Jared Kelly and Crystal Small on the front row, but we do have delayed green there, so we'll not go green this time by. As the pace car lights are still on. Lights still on the pace car. We saw a lot of incidents tonight so far. So far. It's kind of been able to get about 15-20 laps, but just kind of just bad pushes gone wrong. So few drivers getting out of line there, kind of with the front straight. It's very tricky to kind of get a square push, especially with the quad oval down the front straightaway. Now we take the 1 to go signal, so restart here with 82 to go. Still a while left to go. Will be a one-stop race still if we manage to go green. If we go green. It'll be Jared Kelly, Crystal Sproul on the front row, and then we'll have David Owen, Zach Clausen, and Matt Schofield round out the top 5. So Matt Schofield started at the back tonight. He's worked his way up to 5th, staying clean. So good work for that 61 machine so far. Now he'll be moved up to the outside, move up to the front of the field. Will take that hard left turn onto pit road once again, and these leaders, Jared Kelly and Christopher Sproul, lead them back into the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone here from EchoPark Speedway. Green flag, I'm back in the air, back away here from Atlanta. It's a good restart for the inside, but they already have another caution out of the racetrack. I believe Zach Clausen going around, and Zach Clausen going around on the restart. And a quick caution there. I think it's just a bad push. Oh, a little bit of neck code there. May have blinked out as Nick Mills was in the inside Zach Clausen there. So probably a little bit of connection issues for one of those drivers that put them in, put each other ghosted each other's and then kind of bugged out a little bit and sent Zach Clausen around. Unfortunate there for Zach Clausen. But a netcode incident there for those two drivers and bringing out another caution. So that'll put us, this restart will put us under 80 laps to go. But, well, yeah, let's just gonna take a quick. We'll be right back here from Atlanta.
Season 13 of Bonfire Premier Cup Racing is proudly brought to you by Animal House Customs. Also a sponsor for Season 13, KK Woodscapes, bringing your virtual victories into reality. And finally, but not least, the Swanley Golf Association. This sponsorship is brought to you by Matt Schofield and the number 61.
Welcome back here to EchoPark Speedway, Orlando Motor Speedway here for race number 7 of the Bonfire Racing League Premier Cup Series here for the Help for Heroes 215. As so far, we have David Owens leading the field with Christopher Small going to be leading the inside lane as we do have a delayed green once again. So we'll rack them back up and we'll restart next time by. But David Owens will lead him. Christopher Small will be second. David Mazzini will still line up third to the outside lead. Lead of St. Lucius to the outside lane there. David Owens. So you have to see if he can get a good restart this time by. We're just coming off the caution from Zach Clausen and Nick Mills. Unfortunate netcode contact. They're both one of them linked out, put them both their cars ghosted through each other, and the hitbox being a little bit weird, sent Zach Clausen around to the outside wall on the last restart. So that caution, this caution being a result of that. We're gonna get back underway here. We're just shy of halfway. It's be about 5 to 6 laps from halfway of lap 70. David Owens works his way back up to the front as he was our pole sitter earlier tonight. David Owens was up in front, put it on the pole, got shuffled out a little bit, and now he's worked his way back up to the front of the field. As David Owens last pitted 7 laps ago, so 2 cautions ago. Most of the field is coming down last caution, this caution here. Everyone will be easily on a 1-stop race from the finish. How this restart will go. Baystar will take that. Baystar will take that hard left turn onto pit road once again, and David Owens will lead them back to the EchoPark Automotive restart zone. Green flag back in the air here. So we're back on the way here from Atlanta. Good jump for the outside lane. Owens will go straight down to the bottom, but Medina's going to stay up to the outside lane, and he's going to side draft David Owens. There's no help for that 8 machine on the inside lane of David Owens. As the outside lane, going to freight train him on the outside lane. We'll see if he gets any help. Nick Mills will hop down to the bottom and push that 8 machine so they can get that inside lane moving. But now David Medina with a great run on the outside lane. He's got this opportunity to clear for the lead. Really taking off turn 4. He's going to stay up with the Smorall. He's going to try and pull Smorall clear as well, as out here comes Zach Engel. Not going to do it. The inside lane will pull back to the inside. Side by side now for the lead is dead even for both lanes. Dina elected to stay to the outside lane. Oh, man, a car around! Right through the back there. Timothy Darby going around off turn 4. Oh, another car coming through that 33. Paul Ferdiani, as he was in another hard wreck, and that will no doubt be assigned over as he breaks that toe link. Let's take a look at what happened here. Oh, just comes down in front there. Comes down in front of that machine, that green and yellow machine there. And Paul Ferdiani coming in there. So let's take a look at what happened with Ferdiani. Paul Ferdiani, he came through there, wondering what happened here. He piled into this, didn't see it coming. Oh, lost it on the brakes coming off turn 4. Trying to slow down for the wreck, just lost it on the brakes. Timothy Darby going around there. Let's take another look at what happened. Trying to see who that was. This is 27. No, it wasn't. It was Jared Kelly? It was the 60. Oh, it was Benton there. Car number there. That's Michael Benton in the 69, so it was my machine. So Michael Benton in the 69 machine went off, got into 13 there, Timothy Darby. That bring out the caution there. So restart, I believe, right around halfway on lap number 70. So just gonna be pretty much right around that halfway point. It's been a battle of attrition so far in this one. Just trying to survive and stay out of the incidents. to take the 1 to go signal, so restart with 72 to go. Have had a good bit of caution, so we have about 57 minutes left on the time if we did come down to the time limit. I say about 20 extra minutes of caution. Currently, right now, it's expected to be about 37 minutes for the rest of this race if we stay green. So about 20 extra minutes of caution to use if it comes down to that. David Owens and David Mazzina will lead them back to green on the front row. Those two drivers both leading our pro point standings. Actually, well, second and third in the pro point standings. Anastasia Landry and fifth leader are leading our pro point standings for now. Pace cars off back to the EchoPark restart zone. Owens will let the loud pedal green flag back in the air here with 72 to go here from EchoPark Speedway. This goes a good launch to the outside of David Medina. He's not going to have enough of a momentum to get clear though. We'll see if he slots behind Nick Mills. That gap's going to close up as Landry with a really good run through 1 and 2 here. Going to stay on the inside. He's going to push that inside lane forward. But now Medina falling back now on the outside lane. We'll see if he can find a hole along the bottom or get a little bit of help on the outside lane as he will slot in line right in front of Christopher Sproul. Down into 3 of the outside lane, starting to build a little bit. Jason Landry, Nick Mills, both hop up into the outside lane. They're going to try and jump around David Owens, and they will. You got Jared Kelly hopping through as well, trying to clear in front of David Owens. Not going to be able to do it, and Landry and Nick Mills going to navigate down, and Jared Kelly left on the outside. They hop back up again, though. We'll see if they'll allow Jared Kelly to hop back down to the bottom. Don't think it will. He's gonna need a really good run here off of turn 4 for that to happen. See if Kelly can clear down the front straightaway into 1, and he will. Good run to the outside lane there, and now that's top 3 will be completely different. Nick Mills, Jason Landry, and Jared Kelly now cycle to the front of the field. A few other drivers try to hop up now. David Owens hops up. Kyle Lynott also hopping up as well, but Lynott 14 laps down in this lead pack. He involved in earlier incidents during this race. Starting to fall back a little bit. David Owens falling back down the back straightaway. But single file through the most of the field so far. That's the front of the field right now. Currently as lead going to Nick Mills as we're now past halfway in this one. So we need one green flag stop if we go green to the finish. How well these drivers save fuel. Maybe someone can go a little bit longer. But still single file through the field. Is down the outside lane, not able to get going as David Owens falling all the way back to 11. So he's got Kyle line out behind him, but not enough work to not working well enough to get going. There's only 2 cars compared to the rest of the field right now. Now we single file out through the field. Nick Mills, Jason Landry, Jared Kelly currently so far 1, 2, and 3. But so far, the single file through the field, you know, really outside lane, trying to work their way back up right now. But I'll talk you through kind of the season so far for most of these drivers. 6 races in this season, so this is race number 7. Previous 6 races being broadcasted on the in-house Bonfire Racing YouTube. Happy for everyone to join us here on Legends Racing Network for the Sunday mornings for this Bonfire Career Cup Series. But so far it is Michael Serra leading the AM Series standings, point standings after 6 races. Zach Engel currently leading the AM drivers right now in this race. In our pro standings, Jason Landry, our pro points leader, with David Medina Sr. In second. Jason Landry sitting there in second there, right? Our pro points leader. See the pro drivers, the pro next to their name in parentheses, next to their name on our timing tower, and the AM drivers with just their name on our timing tower there as well. So far, it's Nick Mills leading right now. Nick Mills sitting 9th in the points, 139 out of the points lead. Oh, sorry, 119 out of the points lead. Points tonight is right now leading this field. Will definitely be a big help for him. And sitting there in second, Jason Landry, our points leader, his 2 wins on the season. Jason Landry's also had 5 poles on the year, so he's been on pole for 5 of our 6 races so far. Jason Landry was able to get pole, but he's worked his way up and put himself in this really good position on the field right now. So there, third, Jared Kelly, sitting 6th in our pro point standings, 95 out of the points lead. There's no wins, but 2 top 5s and 1 6 to 10, so about 3 top 10s and 2 top 5s there for Jared Kelly so far this season after 6 races. Zach Engel are currently leading our AM drivers right now. He is 23rd in the AM series, AM point standings. As he is 494 off the points lead, so hasn't been able to make every race so far. So he's only made 2 races so far this season, and got a top 15 and 21st on back. So Zach Engel looking to get kind of get the season going, trying to get some extra points and some momentum going here as well. Gonna be pretty far out as it's all Old Woods Cup points style format. There's no playoffs or any of these drivers, but just the difference between the pro and AM point standings. But now they got our outside lane starting to work up a little bit towards the back, and then they had to move the lap car, and now that moves the entire field to the outside lane there for a few seconds as they navigate back down to the bottom. But that's going to give that big momentum to the outside lane. Let's see who sticks to the outside. David Owens trying to make that outside lane work now. As now he pulls alongside Jack Subal, as Jack Subal was 2 laps down earlier, and now he's back up to the race lead, moves himself up into 6th. But now the outside lane is starting to make some moves. They're just getting to the outside of Jack Subal, trying to get to the back, rear quarter panel of Christopher Smoral. Oh man, cars around off of turn number 2. Multiple cars going around. Zach Clausen, David Owens is just looked away for 1 second, and that brings out the caution. As he was just getting a run under our belts there. Probably about 10 to 15 laps away from seeing our pit stop. Well, maybe about 10 to 20 laps away from our pit stops. And that brings out the caution. David Owens, so we'll try to pick that back. David Owens is going around there. Just a bad push gone wrong once again, and collecting multiple drivers. Zach Clausen being one of those, David Owens being another. The 23 down right there on the bottom. He's actually got a broken toe link. That will be his line over for sure. There's 27, Michael Sarra, not 23. Apologies. A few others being involved there as well. Jose Medina being involved. So a lot of drivers is off the back bump of the 135 of Jaron Valley. Jaron Valley, just a bad push gone to David Owens and sits him around, collects multiple other drivers. David Medina, 69 machine of Michael Benson as well. Michael Benson was 22 laps down, just trying to pick up some extra points after fixing all his damage. Well, that brings out another caution here tonight as Jack Subal, he will elect to stay out on the racetrack. Everyone will still have to make one green flag stop if we go green to the finish here. But most of the drivers coming out pit road. Matt Schofield still in pit road. But Jack Duvall stays out on the racetrack. Jason Landry and everyone else coming out pit road. So restart with under 50 to go. So we're getting into this final kind of stretch of this race. But Jax Duvall, our race leader right now. So Jax Duvall, a good comeback so far tonight. He was 2 laps down earlier. He's able to get both his laps back. Now he is our race leader. And he is going to be a little bit shorter on fuel as he actually already been 30 laps on this fuel. So it's going to be, he can only go about 20 more laps. He's going to hope for another caution within the next 20 laps. No doubt. Jack Duvall, one of our pro drivers, currently sitting 7th in our points, 111 out of the points lead. Jack Duvall has made all 6 starts so far, and 2 top 5, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s. And has a top 15 there as well. 4 top 15s. Looking for his first win of the season. But so far, 6 races so far this season, and all 6 going to pro drivers. So no AM driver has won this season yet. We'll see if that changes tonight, but currently the drivers who wins on season 2 wins for Jason Landry and David Medina Sr. There's a win for David Brenner and Kevin Kyle. So those are our 4 winners across our 6 races so far this season. But green flag back in the air as we're back on the way with 50 laps to go here from EchoPark Speedway. Jacksonville with a good restart now off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. The outside lane now falling apart once again as David Medina are going to fall all the way back. You'll see if he tries to slot back in line. Kyle Lynott working that outside lane as he's just trying to pick up some extra points, trying to get some of his laps back. The outside lane falling back, trying to get working for single file through the field now with under 50 to go. But Jack's Duval, have to be careful. Gonna have to hope for a caution soon. He only has about 20 more laps of fuel, maybe about 25, depending on how much he saved under the cautions. Jack's Duval staying out there. He's not gonna be able to make it to the finish. No one can make it to the finish though, so we'll see if he can try. She's gonna try and bring some other drivers down if you go down pit road, but it's gonna be actually it's gonna be a little close on fuel. It's gonna be kind of close. We'll see how these drivers can go. The higher end of the fuel window is probably about 49 to 50. Depending on how you're saving, how you're lifting, it could be a little close on fuel. We could see a fuel mileage race to the finish here. See if anyone topped off that caution. So I believe Stephen Neal is sitting there right now in that 45 machine, sitting back in 11th. Actually, he's just coming off pit road now. Never mind. He was one driver that had one last lap on his stint, so everyone else currently 5 laps into the stint. So it's going to be close for a lot of these drivers to make it to the end. Probably going to be about 2 laps short off the far part of the window. So we'll see if some drivers can really save a lot of fuel. It's going to be close, but we'll see if anyone can do it. Assuming we go green to the end of this race. We have not got a green flag pit stop so far. But Jax Duval definitely, no doubt, will not be able to make it. So see if he drags anyone else down pit road. But right now, Jason Landry leading. That's not going to be helping his fuel number. We currently have 9 cars on the lead lap. It has been a battle of attrition tonight. Just staying clean has been the key tonight. Multiple big wrecks, mini wrecks, just kind of coming from bad pushes, or just kind of with the quad oval, just kind of having the turn, kind of always turning left on the front straightaway, just getting out of line, just getting off center from the bumper in front of you, and then just pushing bad and gone wrong, or just maybe a little bit extra line, trying to stick your nose on the bottom. Many incidents being caused from many different ways, with 9 cars on the lead lap and only 8 right now in this lead pack. And so that's Schofield, the last driver in this lead pack right now. Last lead lap car in the lead pack, as he is also all the way to the tail end of this lead pack. We have a few lap cars in this pack. Ricky Mandela, and being one of those, Stephen Neal 1 lap down. A few lap cars in this lead pack. David Owens, he's done for the night. But Brandon Finley, 11 laps down into this lead pack as well. Kyle Lynott being in the lead pack as well. So we have 3 lap cars in the lead pack along with the rest of our lead lap cars, except for Zach Clausen. Zach Clausen being involved in that last incident, having a lot of damage. But David Owens coming off pit road. So he's going to try and pick up some extra points as he's wanting to get some points, trying to gain a little bit on that points lead. As he cannot have a bad race tonight, but Jason Landry so far leading the field Jared Kelly sitting in second, Nick Mills in third, but now shuffle over the outside lane. He's going to fall back big time, but he's going to go around off of turn number 2. Nick Mills goes around with contact with Kyle Lynott there. And that's going to bring out the caution. Once again, another incident off of turn number 2. Let's take a look. He's up the racetrack. He's going to slot back in line. Kyle Lynott, a little bit of net code there. They got a little bit of net code between Kyle Lynott and Nick Mills that ended up being the caution. But now that will, no doubt, that will make it, everyone will be able to make it to the finish here with 40 laps to go. So everyone will come down pit road, top it off on fuel. We'll see if anyone takes 4 tires. You could see someone try to stay out and save a little bit of fuel. Well, I don't think anyone will, because all the lap cars will stay out and try and get a waiver on, get one of their extra laps back, able to pick up another lap on some of these drivers who are still off the racetrack. But Jason Landry leads them down pit road for most likely the final stop of the night, at least. See if anyone else makes an extra stop if we get another caution. Jason Landry, 2-tire call there and fuel only. That will get him out in front of Jared Kelly. Dead heat at the line there. So photo finish to get off of pit road. But Jason Landry will get that there, and our points leader still going to be our race leader for now. Only 8 cars on the lead lap as Ricky Mandela. He'll stay out and take the wave around. He will get back on the lead lap. Stephen Neal as well. So Ricky Mandela, our free pass, our lucky dog, but Stephen Neal will stay out and get the way around and try to get one of his lap back. So that'll put 11 cars back on the lap. But so far, the best AM driver tonight has been Zach Engel, still leading. Matt Schofield being right behind him. Those guys try to be the first AM winner of this season. So all the wins going to the pro drivers. First broadcast here on Legends Racing Network for the Bonfire Racing League. Glad for you to join us. As normally they are broadcasted from in-house, but glad for you to join us. Relieve those guys a little bit for their weekly series. It's been a thriller tonight, though. We saw a lot of incidents. We saw a lot of hard racing as well. We're getting into the home stretch of this one. So far, 11 cars still on the lap. Jason Landry, Jared Kelly, David Medina Sr., Christopher Morale, Zach Engel, Jack Duval, Matt Schofield, Ricky Mandela, Zach Lawson, Nick Mills, and Stephen Neal are drivers all on the lead laps. Stephen Neal just staying out to get the wave around. I believe he pitted the last caution. He will be able to make it to the end on fuel. Jared Valley will be our free pass if we get another caution. He is 2 laps down currently. And Thomas Fox 3 laps down, so it wouldn't say those 2 drivers are fully out of it. Jared Valley has a better chance. Thomas Fox would need a lot of cautions if he wants to get back in it. But Jared Valley's still in this. He's 2 cautions. I mean, we saw Jack Duval, he was 2 laps down earlier, and now he's up in the top 5. Well, was battling up at the top 5, so definitely not out of it if you're 2 laps down. Still have a while to go. Race cars off, back to the EchoPark restart zone. Green flag, back in the air here with 37 to go here from EchoPark Speedway or Atlanta Motor Speedway. The restart for Jason Landry. He's going to be clear. The David Medina Sr. going to try and slot back in line. Maybe here, not going to be able to do it. Jared Kelly going to back down to the bottom. Going to stay side by side. And Medina will slot back in line here off of turn number 2. As Jack Duval tries to hop up to the outside, hoping Medina would stay up there. But he's going to stay side by side there with Christopher Small, but he's going to fall back. Kyle Lynott. He's going to have Kyle Lynott left the machine, and Kyle Lynott be able to push him. A single file so far for now, here with 36 to go. As up the racetrack goes Lynott, trying to get to the outside of Jax Duval. Duval stays so far on the outside lane. Leads the outside lane with about only three cars. Thomas Fox and Kyle Lynott, so 2 lap cars behind him. So Jax Duval, the only lead lap driver on the outside lane. But off the turn number 4, mostly single file through the field. While we have the moment here with 35 laps to go. We're going to take this moment to our element crank it up here from EchoPark Speedway. Welcome back from our Crank It Up segment there, as currently still Jason Landry leads the field, but Jax Duval has some help from some lap machines on the outside lane, trying to get that outside lane moving as the laps are winding down here with 30 laps to go here from Atlanta. Jax Duval is trying to work back up the outside lane as he was 2 laps down earlier in the race, and now he's in a great opportunity to win this race as he's trying to get that outside lane moving. But he's going to easily in a great spot. He's looking to get a top 10 as long as his pack stays together and we stay green. Jax Duval finds the hole on the inside lane. He'll slot back to the bottom. And now the outside lane led by all lap cars, David Owens and Kyle Lynott, and 7 of Thomas Fox. Thomas Fox 3 laps down, hoping for about 5 more cautions to get, as he's going to have to wait for Jaron Valley to get his laps back as well. Jaron Valley hoping for some cautions as well here. Jaron Valley sitting right here in the back of this pack, hoping for 2 more cautions to get his laps back. It's definitely been possible. Jax Duval did it earlier this race. We'll see if Jaron Valley can do what Jax Duval did, get both his laps back, and maybe battle up front. But so far, our pro points leader, Jason Landry, still leads the field with 27 to go. Or currently our best AM driver is Zach Engel, sitting at 47 machine, sitting there in 5th. Looking to try and win for the AM drivers tonight, as the pro drivers have won all 6 races so far this season. The laps are winding down. Everyone will be able to make it to the finish. How aggressive will these drivers be, and how early will they want to go? Drivers trying to work the outside lane towards the back. Nick Mills hopped up trying to work to the outside, trying to get around Zach Clausen. Zach Clausen sitting there in 7th, that 43 machine on the bottom. Side by side, trying to work, trying to side draft, very hard to get it moving, especially with only 3 cars. It's just so hard to get moving. Zach Engel, on the bottom there. He's gonna get alongside Nick Mills. Nick Mills starting to make some moves on the outside lane. He's got help from David Owens. David Owens to be 14th, 10 laps down, just trying to pick up some extra points. But the outside lane starting to move up now with 24 to go. Will anyone else move up with him? Nick Mills getting good help. Get it side drafting an inside lane. Starting to pull it inside lane back a little bit. They stall out just for a moment, but it's working for Nick Mills. No lead lap cars decides to hop up in front of Nick Mills. If Nick Mills can get clear of the bottom for the lead, he might be in a good spot. Lose a little bit of help. You have Brandon Finley hops down to the bottom for the outside lane, just into the back there. Check out the outside lane, and that's going to slow him up. Nick Mills trying to side draft Zach Engel back. Not going to be able to do it. So far, the top 4 are clear. Top 5 are clear now on the bottom. Nick Mills, David Owens, and Kyle Lund on the outside lane. Nick Mills being the only driver on the lead lap, trying to get the outside lane to work. They're staying alongside Christopher Small for now. They're slowly working their way up, but it just needs to be perfect. You cannot make any mistakes. You have to be perfect on the outside lane to get moving. And get that outside lane moving, especially with so little cars on the outside lane like they have. Only 3 cars on the outside. So far though, these top 3 still locked to the bottom. Don't want to move up in front of Nick Mills yet. That time by 20 laps to go. Nick Mills, good help from now as Jax Duvall hopped up behind Kyle Lina on the outside lane. This is the tail end, so now 4 cars on the outside lane. They're alongside, almost alongside Jared Kelly. They're starting to stall out a little bit, trying to stay side by side with David Medina Sr. Oh, he's way up the racetrack, chases up the racetrack. That's going to cost him more time. That's going to clear. Medina is going to be able to clear. Now Sproul going to be side by side with the outside lane. Outside lane slowly working together. Just need a little bit more time. A little bit more help. Nick Mills has the inside open there, but he stays up to the top, knows he needs to stay to the outside. He wants a chance to even move up. He's got to try something. He knows he needs track position. Doesn't want to get to the bottom yet. He stays to the outside, pulls alongside. We're all on the outside lane. Good work for the 20 car so far. along to the outside again. They can get to Medina, but then they make one mistake and they lose it all again. Can they do it this time? Nick Mills, not a lot of help there through the front straightaway, but David Owens with a good push going into one to keep Nick Mills rolling. Keep them side by side still. They get to Jared Kelly. It's going to be another big milestone, but they need to try to get to Jason Landry. Just side draft hard, try to pull that inside lane back. 15 to go. The time is running out for this outside lane. Just trying to get it rolling. Jax Duvall losing touch a little bit on the outside lane. Brandon Finley's going to hop up in front of Jax Duvall. Duvall's going to move to the outside. They go around him. Now they're almost there to the rear corner panel of Jared Kelly, but they just can't do it. Not close enough. They're fully alongside David Medina Sr. though on the bottom. That's definitely going to be a lot of help. They almost got the Jared Kelly here off turn 4. One more good push, they have it. As now we have 5 cars on the outside. Nick Mills leads the outside lane. Jax Duvall, the only lead lap car only other lead lap car in that outside lane, and he's sitting third in the outside lane. He's got to find his way by those lap cars of Kyle Lynott and David Owens if he wants to have a chance to get up with Nick Mills. But now Nick Mills alongside Jared Kelly. The outside lane is here, but Jared Kelly, big moment as he had got a bad shove, but David Medina on the bottom. But now that's going to allow the outside with a big run. Jason Landry, no help on the bottom. Nick Mills with the shove from David Owens. Is he going to be clear in a 1? Yes, he does. Nick Mills to the race lead here from EchoPark Speedway. And that's the break the outside lane needed. Nick Mills now leads. He's got no pressure from the outside lane behind him now. As the outside lane, just lap cars until you get back to Jax Duvall, third in line. But now he leads the field. He has no other lead lap cars that are free behind him, as Jason Landry, the only lead lap car behind him, boxed in right now. Jax Duvall, 3 cars back on the outside lane. Jason Landry, Nick Mills in a good spot, but here comes the outside lane again. David Owens, Kyle Lynott trying to work a lap, trying to get one of their laps back, but they go up the racetrack at 3 and 4. That's going to slow them down a little bit. Jax Duvall trying to work something, hoping this outside lane gets moving so he can get to Nick Mills and work with this outside lane. But 10 laps to go here from Atlanta. Nick Mills still leads. As Jason Landry, we'll see if he tries to hop up and try and jump in front of Nick Mills. He stays behind him for now. The laps ticking down, laps winding down now. It's been a battle of attrition tonight, trying to stay clean. Staying clean was the key tonight. Nick Mills, with the help of some lap cars, was able to work his way up on the outside lane and got the move done. Got the race lead, but now he's gonna have pressure. Now the outside lane is starting to fall back. That's gonna open up for the guys in second, third, and fourth. That's gonna allow them to open up to hop up and make their own lane. With 8 to go. Outside lane falling apart now. It's just Kyle Lynott and David Owens. It's now Jax Duvall. Hops down to the bottom. Just cuts his losses. Gonna try and clear that outside lane. Maybe try and cycle to the front of the outside lane here. A single file so far. Through the lead pack now. Jax Duvall hops up right towards the back. They hops back in line. Zach Engler, our leading AM driver. 7 laps to go. It's Nick Mills, Jason Landry, Jared Kelly are top 3. We got 2 lap cars coming up here. That's going to be That's going to be Stephen Neal. Just out in front of him. Just out in front of the lead pack. Timothy Darby goes a lap down. Here's another lap down. But this time by will be 5 laps to go. The outside lane is starting to move up again. David Owens and Jax Duvall work their way up, but now the 9 machine. David Medina Sr. thinks about hopping up. Not going to do it. The outside lane falls back again, but now they have a lap car. The 45 of Stephen Neal. Just slow that outside lane down a little bit. Get this outside lane, get building. Jax Duvall leading the outside lane, trying to make something happen. He was 2 laps down early in this race. Now he's trying to work the outside lane and try and get this race win. But 4 laps to go. Time's running out for the outside lane. They can't make any more mistakes now. They have to keep rolling, but there are big wiggles from the outside lane, slowing them up. But who's gonna make the move on the bottom? Are they content just sitting in line? I think they'll make a move sooner or later. You don't want to make it too early. The outside lane to really die off. But these 3, Jason Landry, Jared Kelly, David Medina, they all go together. They can easily ditch Nick Mills on the bottom. We'll see what they do with 3 laps to go. The outside lane not working well enough to get moving. Smorall clear. Zach Engel clear. Ricky Mandel, the only driver not clear. Everyone's clear now as a single file through the lead pack. The outside lane not working. Well, the winner's going to have to come from the inside lane. They're going to have to make their own move with 2 laps to go. Just under 3 miles left to go. Nick Mills, he worked the outside lane for so long. He got the move he needed. He got the break he needed. He got clear of the bottom. Now he leads with 2 to go. Will anyone move up? Will anyone try to make a move on Nick Mills? Off of turn number 4. Will they make it back? Yes, they will. White flag. 1 lap to go. 1.5 miles left here from EchoPark Speedway, Orlando Motor Speedway. Down into turn number 1. The outside lane, they think about making a move. Jared Kelly peeks out of line in front of... That's the outside of Jason Landry. He ducks back in line into 1 and 2. Off into number 2. Jason Landry going to make his move. They have a lap machine. Landry ducks back in line. Here comes Kelly. Here comes Kelly and Medina on the outside lane. They're going to pull alongside Jason Landry. Are they going to have enough of a run off turn 4 to get to Nick Mills? No, they won't. Off of turn 4. Nick Mills is going to win here in Atlanta. They're drag racing behind for the rest of the field. They're going to crash at the line. But Nick Mills wins at Atlanta. What a win for Nick Mills. He worked the outside lane for so long during that final run. Had the help from some lap cars on the outside. It worked out for him. He cleared the lead and never looked back. He was able to get the win, and that is his first win of the season. As he will burn it down. Nick Mills celebrates it and burns it down here on the front straightaway. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our interviews.
Season 13 of Bonfire Premier Cup Racing is proudly brought to you by Animal House Customs. Also a sponsor for Season 13, KK Woodscapes, bringing your virtual victories into reality. And finally, but not least, the Swanley Golf Association. This sponsorship is brought to you by Matt Schofield and the number 61.
Welcome back here to EchoPark Speedways. You just saw Nick Mills take the race win for race number 7 and help for Heroes 215. Before we get to our interviews, let's take a quick look at today's results here from Atlanta. As you just saw, Nick Mills take the race win over Jason Landry. We'll talk to those two in a minute. Jared Kelly finishing third. We'll talk to our top finishing AM driver Zach Engel. We'll talk to him finishing fourth tonight. David Mendina finishing fifth. Christopher Morale finishing sixth. Ricky Mandela finishing seventh tonight. And Jackson Wall running our eighth. 8 lead lap drivers in the lead pack as he'll finish 8th tonight. Matt Schofield will finish 9th, and Zach Lawson rounds out our top 10. Stephen Neal, our first driver finishing laps down, will finish 11th. Thomas Fox will finish 12th. Jared Valley will finish 13th. David Owens in 14th. Brandon Finley will finish 15th. Kyle Lonat will finish 16th tonight. Timothy Darby will finish 17th. Michael Sarr will finish 18th. Jose Medina will finish 19th. Michael Benton will round out our top 20 tonight. David Burrell will finish 21st. Paul Ferdiani will finish 22nd. Jake Johnson, the 409, will finish 23rd. Brandon Shelton, 24th. Kevin Kyle will finish 25th tonight. Jake Ashley will finish 26th. Jared Rose will finish 27th. 28th will be Justin Malarkey. David Brenner will finish 29th. And Sam Milliken will finish in third, third, 30th tonight. And Todd Dunn will round out our 31 car field here tonight from Atlanta. But up front, it was Nick Mills, our race winner. He was able to get that outside lane up moving throughout that final run and got cleared just about 10 laps to go, and you never looked back. How were you able to get that outside lane working so well, and what was going through your mind there to try and get to that race lead?
The outside lane, I couldn't have done it without David Owens and Kyle not helping me. Then, I had two teammates there with Jason Landry and Jared Kelly holding the bottom down. So thank all four of them for working with me today. I couldn't have done it without them. We had some trouble. I feel like I hit everything coming and going today, and just luckily the car never got too tore up.
Yeah, you're able to get that outside lane working very well. You also had one of the drivers to be able to stay clean tonight. But just how was your battle tonight? You had to work your way from the back a few other times. Just how tough was it really to be able to work up through the field and also just kind of avoid all these wrecks tonight?
Well, I didn't avoid them very well. I just didn't get damaged too much in them. But as far as working that top line, you kind of have to run the middle. You can't run the top. You got to run the middle to kind of pinch the inside line down and get a side draft off of them. And then, as you see, anytime that there's a bobble in that lower lane, it breaks their momentum, and you kind of jump 2 or 3 cars in line. But it takes 3 or 4 solid cars working together on that outside line to get it working. There was a couple big pushes on the entry of 3, and then a couple big pushes on the entry of 1, where we really made up a lot of ground. Couldn't do it without it.
Yeah, but you're able to work that outside lane perfectly through that final run there, and you're able to take the race lead and able to take the win. But before we send off on the way, any sponsors that I think for today's race win?
Yeah, we got Mills Insurance Agency on the hood, and then Coltman Farms Racing, Capital Waste, and Ultimate Towing. And then, like I said, once again, thanks to my teammates Jared Kelly and Jason Landry.
Once again, congrats on your race win. We will see you next week at Chicago.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
So that was our race winner of Nick Mills. We'll bring in our second place finisher here of Jason Landry. So Jason Landry, our second place finisher. You're leading that pretty much that entire final run there until those final 10 laps. What do you think you could have done differently to maybe get Nick Mills right at the line there?
I wasn't even trying to get Nick Mills at the line. We were trying to play it safe. Honestly, this track is quite sketchy. So, I was just happy to get P2, lock it in. As soon as we saw the outside line was working for him, I told him, like, if you clear me, get in front of me, and I'll push you right to the line.
Yeah, very solid second place finish for you tonight. You're able to work your way up through the field, and you already have 2 wins on the season. Also, our pro point standings leader. So, just how's tonight's solid result? You're gonna be able to kind of build that momentum going into the kind of the back half of the season now, as you kind of work just about halfway through the season.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Honestly, this was the race that I was scared the most. I feel like with the walls so close, it's if you get involved in a wreck, it's pretty much chaos. I guess we can see there wasn't very many cars on the lead lap. So I'm not a great super speedway guy, but at least Daytona and Talladega, you got room to kind of recover in the grass if you need to. But here I was really worried, and finishing P2, yeah, that's more than I expected, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, overall, very good result for you tonight. Able to extend your points lead just a little bit more. But before we start off on the way, any sponsors for tonight's second place run?
Just thanks to Jared and Nick. We really worked together as a team. Paul had a bit of a rough run. So thanks to Paul for joining in and chatting with us for a little bit. But yeah, I definitely want to thank Jared and Nick. That was awesome.
All right, once again, congrats on your second place run. We'll see you next week at Chicago.
Thank you very much, guys. Also, thanks for the broadcast. It's I think your first broadcast with us, so welcome to the league.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye now.
So that was our second place finisher of Jason Landry. We'll bring in our third place our top finishing AM driver of Zach Engel, our 4th place finisher for tonight. Able to be the best AM driver of the rest of them tonight. So just how does it feel to be able to get this 4th place run and kind of all shaking up with the pro guys up front?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Feels pretty good. I've been out a couple weeks just due to other plans, but yeah, when you're in a full group of pro guys, you got to be pretty careful on what you're doing. So I'm very happy to take away a 4th place finish.
Yeah, the 4th place run for you tonight. You were kind of shaking up with that top 5 all night long, and you had to work your way back a little bit. Got caught up in a couple of incidents. Just how are you able to kind of recover from those incidents and work your way back up through the field, and just kind of talk us through that?
Yeah, so I just try to keep it consistent as possible, keep it steady. My plan the whole race was just kind of stay on the bottom and not take too many risks and slowly just keep working forward to the front. Took advantage of some of the wrecks that we had and that knocked a couple people back, but just staying consistent and sticking to the plan.
Yeah, you're able to really work your way through the field and able to get up to a very solid finish, and that's going to help your points tonight. Also, kind of build that momentum going into the second half of the season after tonight. Before you send off on me, any sponsors to thank for tonight's AM win?
I'd just like to shout out the V7 Motorsports putting the car together this week and last race here at EchoPark Speedway.
And once again, congrats on your AM win, and we'll see you next week at Chicago.
Thank you.
So that was our top finishing AM driver, AM winner of Zach Engel tonight here from EchoPark Speedway, Orlando. It was definitely a very fun race tonight. We saw a lot of incidents, saw a lot of incidents that were able to kind of shake up the field, and we also saw a battle of attrition. We also saw some great racing through the field. Had the outside lane work their way up in those final 10 laps, and Nick Mills able to take the win there, and he'll get his first win of the season. But it was definitely an interesting race here from Atlanta. But most of the time, we follow the regular real life schedule, so it's kind of get that official practice as well through the season. So that'll definitely help. But we'll have the Chicago Street Course, the first another road course on the season. Before we get there, coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network tomorrow night, we'll have the 5 Points Racing League Turnkey Network Salute Series for Chase Race number 4 at Richmond at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. On Tuesday night, we'll have the Legends Racing League Gen 4 Series at Legacy Phoenix, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday night. On Wednesday night, we'll have the Superstar Cup Chase Race number 1 at Charlotte, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday night. And on Friday night, we'll have the Inter Cup Series at 9 o'clock Eastern Time at Iowa. And next Sunday morning, 9:50 a.m. Eastern Time, same time as before, we'll have the Chicago Street Course for the Bonfire Racing League, and we'll also, the next Thursday on July 10th, we'll have the Undisputed Cup Series return from their July 4th week break at Las Vegas at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. But it was definitely a fun one here from EchoPark Speedway, Orlando, here for tonight. I'm Aaron Brown. Happy for you all to join us here for here compared to the in-house broadcasting. It was definitely a pleasure broadcasting this race here on Legends Racing Network. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network. So long from Atlanta.